to a very special episode of Benalish Dad with good friend of the pod, friend of the Benalish Dad, Kyle. Kyle, say hi.
Hey guys.
Okay, so this is your very first draft, is that right? How much
Uh,
time do we have to make a choice, or is it infinite?
Infinite. We're drafting
Oh,
against
against
automatons,
AIs.
so we can wait, let our babies
Nap or wake
tend
up.
to the babies, do whatever it is that we need to do here in between picks.
Well, this is very well. Then great. Then we get to go into full didactic mode. So why don't you tell me what jumps out at you in this pack?
Well, I'm a pretty new to the whole drafting thing, so I tend to ogle these like super high, powerful creatures. So I'm, checking out the our rare avatar here. Huge casting cost, so it's not really going to help
Well, go
well.
back to it though. One thing that relatively unusually for this is that you can sacrifice things to make it much more castable. Normally, 8 mana is, for all intents and purposes, almost impossible to cast in limited. But with this, very possible. That is a very good card. So, moving along. You don't have
Okay.
to do every card. You can just tell me the ones that really jump out
Wizard's
at you.
Retort, understand that well. Counter target spell, Sorcerer's Wand. Not game changing. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be going for the rare right now.
I think this is a pretty easy first pick, taking Torgar. Torgar is very good, and it just demands answers.
Okay. Dear God, a 9/3.
Right.
That is not a attack power defense
That you
or
see. Right.
toughness that I've ever seen.
I think it's the first time there's ever been a 9/3.
Yeah. Let's see. Goblin War Chief. I do like that.
So Goblin Warchief is very bad in this set. It's very powerful and constructed, but there aren't enough goblins that pay it off. It is a 100% trap card.
Really? Okay. Let's see. I mean, given that we already drew a black, I feel like Yargle is.
So I'm going to teach you a fun acronym called BREAD. Bombs, Removal, Evasion, Ability, Dude. It's kind of the rough hierarchy of how you take things. So a bomb is a card that, either says win the game or is a massive swing. The most powerful bombs get you back from being in a losing position, and that's fairly rare. Removal is the second most important. So Yargle is just a dude. He's 9/3. He doesn't have trample. He's actually lowest on the food chain here. Whereas if you look at it's currently being covered by, you have it in Eviscerate, I think in the second row.
Yeah.
That is a premium removal spell. It kills their bombs. That is probably the best, especially if you already have a black card. I think you'd take this no matter what else, but I would definitely take it here. I would, before choosing it, go up to Memorial of Genius. These cards are very easy to underrate in Limited just because they're lands that are also spells. The blue, black, and green ones are all very good because normally you have 17 lands in your deck and you have 23 spells. But if the more of these memorials you have, it's more like you get to have 24 spells or even 25 spells. And in a game of very limited resources, no pun intended, like Magic, it's very powerful. So I think Eviscerate is a great pick here.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's an interesting one.
It's more powerful than it looks.
So, I mean, as cool as it is, I'm already like starting to think mono black, which I don't know if is it too early in a draft after only 2 cards to be thinking that.
So
like the Death Bloom Thallid is probably the one that most reaches out to me.
Yep.
Although this saga is looks really cool.
Yep. So different people have different strategies here. Usually, I like to spend the first 3 to 4 picks in a pack taking the best available card, regardless of color, and really only using my previous picks as a way as a tiebreaker. So Deathbloom Thalit is actually one of the strongest 3 drops in the formats. It's fantastic. It works great with Torgar. Windgrace Acolyte is pretty good, but you don't need that many 5 drops. However, the Mending of Dominaria is very close to a bomb. It's very good with a little bit of like mill yourself, and drawing two. Basically, you get a draw. It draws you 2 creatures, not just cards, but creatures, and then you get all this extra land back. It's confusing, but I would take the Mending of Dominaria because you're not sure you're black yet. For all you know, black might get cut. Oh, hi Arya. All right. Can you move off so I can see the rest of the
Yeah,
map?
sorry about that.
It's quite all right. Ah, your baby cried and you lost focus.
The historic. So, that uncommon artifact creature, like 4 of any color, that's already nice and goes well with the mending.
It's okay. It's not great. I mean, there's actually no direct. It does help make it a little bit cheaper, but it's 4 mana for 2/2 flyer is a lot for not a very good card.
What is this guy?
He's
Oh,
really interesting.
kicker. Oh wow! If attacks alone. Very interesting.
The problem is there's a word missing from that card.
Trample. Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's actually almost no difference between attacking with a 10/10 and attacking with a 20/20. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so. Go down and look at the Thallid Omnivore in the second row.
Yeah.
Shockingly powerful in this set. Like, shockingly powerful. The threat of activation, like, if you have a couple just like stupid dudes that you don't really need, maybe an old 1/3 or even some Saproleans, you can attack with that, and it really makes it hard for your opponent to block. Because you can, if they block, great, you eat a dude and you kill their creature for free. If they don't block, you just get 3 damage. That would probably be my choice out of this pack. The Fungal Infection is also very good, but I think you can get those later.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, like, you got to keep in mind we are drafting the same card, so it'll come back. Yeah. Okay.
That might not wheel. That's good enough if there's another black.
In a 40 card deck, this is not.
It's even worse than that. Because it's a legendary sorcery, you can't cast it unless you have a legendary permanent in play.
Yeah, so let's not do that.
Damping Sphere is unplayable and limited. So, Demonic Vigor is pretty mediocre. It's okay, but it's barely worth a card.
Really?
Yeah, it's very, very mediocre. Caligo Skin Witch is I think the slam dunk pick out of this pack. The modal cards are very powerful because let's say you're under pressure early, you just cast it for 1/3 and it blocks really well. And if you're not under pressure, being able to force them to discard 2 cards is just backbreaking. It feels so bad. I would
I guess
take that.
Yeah, and that's a pretty hefty kicker, meaning that if it's coming out a little later.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay.
See,
So pretty mediocre.
I'm already looking at this.
So the trouble is that 2/2 is actually a very weak stat in this set because there's so much 1/3. They block. They just get blocked. They just get blanked so easily. It's barely worth the card. So this is where I would look into maybe a little bit of a second color. The Slin Voda is hilarious if you can cast it kicked, but you can't cast it kicked without a lot of mana ramp. Rampage and Cyclops is not a bad card either. That might be a sign that red is open. And I would probably take the Cyclops over just a generic 2/2 dork.
Okay. One thing to think about. So while there are opponents, or sorry, it's robots doing the
Right.
picking, and it's not like they're picking randomly. They are
Right.
picking based off color. So as you're saying, like red could in fact be open, but it's not like I'm going to end up playing any of these people.
Right. No, I know you're doing the best. We're not going to cut anything.
Yeah.
Pierce the Sky is a very strong sideboard card. It's very helpful because that kills flyers. So you can take a green sideboard card if you really kind of want to kind of push the Dominaria, your Saga a little more. Rampaging Cyclops is the more open pick. That's how I would weigh these choices.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Memorial to the Folly.
I love hearing the squeaking in the background.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fussing. She's not quite sure what to do with this board. Also, I totally see where you use the word velociraptor
Right.
to describe Helen, because she really likes making those noises too.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
Dark Bargain is a great card. The Memorial to Folly is also a great card. This is where one of the podcasts I listen to, they would say, "Listen, those lands, take them higher than however you're currently taking them. They're great." So I would probably take the Memorial to Folly here. I think black. We are definitely black.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the fungal infection wield.
Oh, fungal infection feels like the slam dunk without even like analyzing.
Deep freeze is okay removal, but you really need to be a flyer heavy deck because giving your opponent an 0/4 is a tough one. Soul salvage, easy pick. Is there nothing? Yeah, no. So this is an easy soul salvage. This is a little messier. You can just take the blessings of. You're not going to play any of these cards. Is the upshot.
Sorry, what's that?
You're not going to play any of these cards, so you might as well. You can just stay on color.
You.
Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry.
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I can hear you and Arya just fine.
Okay. Well, if you really think I'm not going to play it, oops, don't mean to do that. Okay, stay on color.
Now this might be saying that blue might be underdrafted or open at the table. I would take the Homarad Explorer. It's actually really useful to mill yourself because you have Soul Salvage and some other stuff. Definitely take the Arcanist here. Wow, that's shockingly late.
We might need to take a pause here.
Okay, I'm hitting pause right now.
Let's get rolling. Dredge Sentinel?
No, take the Arcanist. It's a much better card. And you might be blue-black.
Okay.
Arcane Flight, wow. So that's actually a great win condition. And that's pretty meh. Okay. What do we have here? That is not a very good card. I wish it was better than it was.
It feels great.
It's not. It really isn't. It's shockingly meh. You're pretty far from that, and that's just like a generic efficient card. Lingering Phantom can be very good, but I think you already have one Soul Salvage. You don't need two. I would probably take the Deathbloom Thala just as a generic good 3-drop. Kind of a disappointing pack for us.
Man, I don't think I've ever gone for a common first.
Responsibility sucks. Oh, but then we get paid off. Just take Josu Best. I think it's a stone cold bomb. It's so good. Okay, the Mirari Conjecture can be hilarious, but you really need a heavy, like a blue-red spells desk, and that's not what we have. The Explorer. I think we really want to try to like lock in blue-black here, even though Saproling Migration is really good. I'll take a fungal. We don't have a fungal infection, do we?
I think we have one. Yeah, we have one already. See it right up here.
One. Okay.
But I mean, well, it's 40 cards. It's hard to do, but
yeah, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. I think that's the best card in the back. In Bolus's Clutches. Okay, we are definitely blue. That card is amazing. Cloud Reader Sphinx is also good. Yeah, Blink of an Eye is great, being able to bounce something and get a card back. And Merfolk's Trickster isn't bad either. So yeah, no, in Bolus's clutches, we're locked in the blue black train. Do you have a? Yeah, you do have a Soul Salvage. I don't mind one opt. It's not bad. It kind of helps.
Yeah, those are pretty popular in the
Yeah.
constructed decks because
Okay,
so
so
damn cheap.
you have some really interesting options here. Deathbloom Thallid is a great little 3-drop. Can you organize your deck by casting costs, or is it just random?
It's random until we finish here.
Finish, okay. Calico, because I'm just trying to see how many 2-drops you have. Calico Skin Witch is probably the safest choice. Jousting Lance really helps enable attacks, but you have bombs. I don't think you're going to be an aggressive equipment-based deck. So I'm between the Skin Witch and the Deathbloom Thallid, personally.
Um,
Probably leaning towards Skin Witch.
yeah.
Both very good. I would probably take the Divination here. Did we take a Dark Bargain? I don't think we did. It's definitely Divination or Dark Bargain here.
Yeah, no dark bargain. Oh, we thought about that heavily before. Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I might. Yeah, let's go
I
with.
would take the Dark Bargain. Wow. The Master Wizard. So if we had, that's great in the red blue Wizards deck. But the Coldwater Snapper is a great little win condition, and it goes great with Arcane Flight. So I would probably take that big
Oh,
heavy 6-drop.
yeah, that is a game winner, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your analogy or the acronym bread?
Bread. It's not a bomb, but it's a very good card. I like the Arcanist here personally. I don't think you want more than one Arcane Flight, and Arcanist really helps power out your.
Do I have that many
Well,
sorceries?
you have Eviscerate, you have Dark Bargain, you have Soul Salvage, and it's just a good little 2-drop. It helps make it easy if you get some high casting cost stuff. Either is fine, but I think you're gonna want the Arcanist a little more. I think oh, this is a really interesting choice. Blink of an Eye is a great trick. Also goes well with your Arcanists. Weight of Memory is a fantastic draw 3. You kind of have 2 draw cards, and I don't like, it doesn't really affect the board state. So I would probably take my first Blink of an Eye over my second card draw spell, but I could see both being a good choice.
Especially especially in constructed deck, like this feels it's gonna take too long to get to it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go give an eye.
I think you have plenty of 4-drops because you have the death. Well, you don't have so many death. Befuddle's useful if you find yourself facing aggressive decks. You probably would sideboard it in. You wouldn't start it. And now my baby's awake. It sounds like. Let me go bring her in. And why don't you pick the last few, and I'll come back for pack 1 for the first few picks of pack. Oh my god! This is the advantage of finding the underdrafted color. So Cloud Reader Sphinx is probably the best card in the pack. I would almost certainly take that. It's so good.
Really, over the Trickster. The Trickster is.
Yeah, you have 2-drops and you're not aggressive. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
You can keep picking.
Oh, we got our last one. We got Syncopate.
Oh, nice. That's a totally playable card. It's almost like a
Yeah.
2-drop. So this is a disappointing pack for us.
I mean, we have a few of these 1-drops, especially with some of the
that's not the
Sapperlings.
That's not the deck we're running. That's not gonna really against Pulse Weight. I would probably take Blink of an Eye here. It's a very good card. I think your hind is fine. Ho 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 ho! Wow. So that card is a stone cold bomb. Unfortunately, you're going to need some green mana to cast it, and you have absolutely no fixing, which is kind of a bummer. And you're probably not going to get any fixing in this pack. So there's a Skittering Surveyor or like dual lands. It's so good though.
Yeah. I kind of want to just take that.
I say go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's two of the colors that we're playing. Like if anything else comes up.
And right now, nothing. I would probably take the Skin Witch here. I would probably take the... Did you take a Blink of the Eye? Do you already have 2 Blink of the Eyes? You probably don't want 3.
I have 2 Blink of an Eyes.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't think I pulled Befuddle before.
Yeah, Befuddle for the sideboard is probably reasonable.
Oh wait, oh shit, I did pull. Oh well.
That's fine. Academy Journey Mage is probably the best blue card in this pack. It's funny how black suddenly dried up here. That's really weird. Go over the Dean of Iteration. Yeah, no, we don't have that many words. I would take the Academy Journey Mage. Bouncing a creature is a pretty sweet tempo play. And you have a lot of wizards between your Skin Witches. I think this is the... Oh wait, move off. Is there fixing in the bottom right one? Nope. Getting blanked. I would probably take the Thallid Omnivore, or the Howling Golem is really good if you think your deck is better than your opponent's. You don't have a ton of historic synergies, and the Omnivore is like your best 4-drop. So I'd probably grab that.
The Thallid Omnivore again?
Yep. Okay, this is an easy Rona. Such a good card. She's slow, but she can really help you draw a lot of cards, and she affects the board. It's just everything you want.
Wow.
Wow, Cloud Reader Sphinx. That's an easy choice. Wow. What's to the right? Yeah, I think I would take the Snapper. You're probably not going to play anything in here. Maybe Cabal Evangel for the sideboard, but I think you're really good on 2-drops. Oh my gosh. I would just keep taking these Cloud Reader Sphinxes. They're easily your best 5-drop. The Scry 2 stapled to it is super powerful. You're not going to play the 5th Snapper or whatever, but you might as well take it. I'd take because you already have 2 blinks. Yeah, I might as well take Arcane Flight. It's probably the second one will be sideboard, would be my guess. Oh my god, a 3rd blink. You have a bounty of riches, sir. You have a bounty of riches. Okay, I need to get this baby ready for Aquatats. So
okay, we can try making the deck later on in the day or weekend or whatever. Okay,
I'll hit pause and we'll bring it up. Thanks, dude.
Okay, cool. Bye.
All right, and we're back with the deck construction. Let's see what we have here. So let's pull. Why don't you just pull all of your black and blue?
Okay, so this is not my favorite part of.
Well, we have resumed technical difficulties. Okay, so you said either addition or subtraction?
Yeah, so it starts off by putting every card that we drafted into our deck. And so we can either remove the ones that we don't want or start fresh from 0 and add the ones we do.
I like starting... let's start fresh from 0. We can discuss them.
Okay.
Oh, you have to click a lot. Okay.
And why they don't yet have a button that just, starts you fresh is criminal. And hopefully someone's already been fired over this. But the game's a beta, so it's really hard to criticize too much. Okay.
Okay, so let's so you should start scrolling through and which cards right now are definitely going in.
Okay, so we said that we're going to be doing blue and black, so I'm filtering on blue and black real quick.
Yep.
The thing that I like to do when I'm building a deck, so as you said, we're aiming for like 23, 24-ish.
Yep.
I tend to want to get like 15 creatures out of that mix.
Yep. Depending on your power level, like a more aggressive deck will be 15, 16. If you have great spells, you can certainly get away with fewer.
So let's see if he can stay in. I'm putting him there aspirationally.
Sure. Yep.
But we can go the Thallid Omnivore, we want
Definitely.
both of those.
Yep.
Let's see, our Lich Knight, most
Definitely.
definitely.
Put your land in. Well, no, leave your land out. We'll put that in when we do lands.
Okay, so we're high on the power curve right here, which I'm looking at right there out of the corner of my eye. So the Skin Witch is going to kind of bring us in some of the 2-drops, and
Sure. I would put in all
I'll
the
do
switches.
throw in all 3, huh?
Yep.
Oops.
Nope. I like.
Accidentally threw in.
I think the Deathbloom Thallid is a great 3-drop. That's a definite. That's in for sure. So is Eviscerate is a must include.
Oh yeah. Eviscerate's there. Dark Bargain.
We can see where we're at there. I think it'll probably
Yeah.
go in, but probably the first fungal infection's a no-brainer too.
Yep.
All right, now it's on to the blue.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, and Bolus's Clutches is going to be a game changer.
Yep.
Syncopate.
That's filler. It's good early, but it drops off fast.
Yeah. Let's see. So this is our only 1-drop creature.
Yep, and 1-drops are terrible, and that's a terrible card if you don't have enough historics, and I don't think that's a sure thing at all.
Okay. Let's at least put 1 Coldwater Snapper in.
Sure.
Cloud Reader Sphinx, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If we have more than one, I'd go ahead and put the second one in.
Ooh. It's getting an expensive deck.
Well, we can certainly cull some of it. Muldrotha, I can just tell you right now, isn't going to make it.
Who is?
Muldrotha.
Oh.
You have no tools to splash, and like also this is one of those things like when we look at it, what's put together. What's your deck's plan to win? How is your deck going to win? It is going to grind out card advantage and drop some of these huge unstoppable bombs. The Coldwater Snapper, the Sphinx, the Torragar. You don't need Muldrotha for that to work, and in order to like cast her with the green mana, you really have to contort your mana base, which is very damaging.
Okay, so we're gonna need an Arcane Flight.
Arcane Flight, we'll find a good one.
Possibly 2.
Nah, start with just 1. Need is a strong word, and that even might end up getting cut. But what else do we have in blue, or is this it?
Hominid Explorer, we haven't. Hominid Explorer, we have not yet.
Yeah. And does it show your creature count somewhere, or do we have to count it manually?
We click here, and you can see creatures to non-creatures. So we're at 12 creatures, 4 non-creatures at the moment.
Okay. Well, I would definitely put in your Arcanist.
And we're 2/3 black, so...
Yeah, I think all of your Arcanists are going in now at this point. I'm trying to puzzle out the little diamonds. Sometimes they're green, sometimes they're blue.
So the diamonds, green means currently in your deck. Blue means not. So it says collected in inventory. So there can be blue here, signifying cards. I have these cards outside of this draft.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
It doesn't tell you. I don't know how to answer how many of these did I get in this draft.
Right. Okay, I think you can easily put in at least a blink of the eye and maybe 2. See, but like blink of the eye, it says just 1 in the deck, and you have 2 green diamonds.
Yeah, that might actually be an error because I've got 2 blink of the eye in the deck. Like one of those greens must be outside the. Okay, we got 2 in there now. Yeah.
And now let's go back to some of the spells we skipped in black.
Wasn't much. I mean, we threw in a fungal infection. We didn't get the soul salvage, which
I
would
would
probably
definitely
dark
put in
bargain.
a dark bargain and a soul salvage. Okay, we have 22, and now we have one more spell. Hand me this happy baby, and I'll just wrap up. Yep, we're gonna be wrapping this up here pretty swiftly, Kyle, on deck construction. But I like where you're
Okay.
at. So right now, here's what your plan is. You have the Skin Witch and the Arcanist to basically gum up the game. you will happily sacrifice those to the Thallid Omnivore without even thinking twice. And from there, your big weakness is removal, because you only really have one piece of hard removal. And yeah, hi. I know, I'm worried about that too, Helen. But your high end is fantastic. You may even want to put in another Cloud Reader Sphinx and cut the turtle and Coldwater Snaps, the Snapper Arcane Flight combo, because you just don't need it. I like one Arcane Flight though. But yeah, I think this you're going to want to run 17 lands almost certainly, because this deck needs 4 or 5 mana to function. But yeah.
Okay. Okay, for a last guy then, I might go with one more removal. One more blink of an eye, actually.
3 blink of the eyes is a hell of a lot of blink of the eyes, because for you it's basically a 4. You almost always want to cast that with your
The kicker?
Yeah. So
okay. Maybe then another fungal, which can result in removal.
Yeah, fungal infection. I think you're gonna here go back, because remember you actually have pretty good early defenses. You'll bring it in as a. I'd actually put in the syncopate. I think that's your. It's decent early. You can kind of hold up mana late.
I'm gonna add in.
Yeah, add in Memorial to Folly.
And then. What balance of mana? Pretty much even.
It's pretty much even. If you go back, you have 2 double black and 1 double blue. So I think you're just do a straight 9/8 swamp. So 8 additional swamps and 8 islands to go with your Memorial.
Is this the land button? I can't even remember. Oh no, this. Actually, I can ask it to suggest lands. Boom. And they said 8 lands,
wow,
8
that's much better than the Mitko version. Nice. Yeah. Okay, well, I look forward to the full report. So things to keep in mind is, you may need to board in some more early defenses. If you get run over, that will mostly be a additional fungal infection. If they really have a lot of ground creatures, I'd put in a Cloud Reader Sphinx and take out a Coldwater Snapper, and maybe add an Arcane Flight as well. But yeah, I think this is a good deck. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun playing this.
Cool. Well, I'll let you know how it goes.
I look forward to the report, and have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.